Iceland, known as the land of fire and ice, offers some of the most stunning landscapes in the world. There's no place as beautiful, charming, harsh, and diverse as Iceland. It's easily one of the most awe-inspiring and magical destinations I've ever visited, and likely ever will. If you're planning a trip to Iceland, the southern coast should be at the top of your list. This coastline has a bit of everything, from thermal baths to breathtaking waterfalls. The region quickly became one of my favorites, thanks to its diverse and uniquely beautiful scenery. Starting in Reykjavik, here's the perfect 7-day itinerary to experience all the must-see sights and activities in southern Iceland. Chances are you'll land at the airport in Keflavik fairly early in the morning. From here, you have two ideal options that can be done in any order: Reykjavik or the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a geothermal spa located in the middle of a lava field just 20 minutes from the airport. Filled with beautiful, blue, mineral-rich water, this iconic landmark is known to help people with a number of skin conditions. The water is extremely warm, and the views are fantastic, making it a really relaxing way to start or end your day. Reykjavik, the capital city of Iceland and home to 90% of the country's inhabitants, is a beautiful seaside city with endless possibilities. Give yourself a day or two, if you can, to explore the city, because there's a lot to see. Some major checkpoints include the Hallgrímskirkja Cathedral, the Harpa Concert Hall, and the Sun Voyager sculpture. There's also a lot of food to try, so make sure you sample it all. Oh, and hot dogs. You must try the hot dogs. The Golden Circle has become a very popular route for tourists because it showcases so much in a relatively short period of time. Waterfalls, geysers, and volcanic lakes can all be seen in just one day, making it the perfect second day for your tour through southern Iceland. Thingvellir National Park is the first stop along the Golden Circle and is located just 45 minutes from downtown Reykjavik. The amazing geology around the park stems from the fact that it's sitting directly between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates. A beautiful rift valley runs through the park, allowing you to see and walk right between the two plates. The Geysir geothermal area is located in the Hákarlalur Valley, and it's your next stop. This is where you can see Iceland's volcanic activity up close and personal, with tons of steaming chimneys and bubbling pools everywhere. Mostly notably is the Great Geysir, the earliest documented geyser in all of Europe. While the original Geysir rarely erupts, its close friend, Stalker, blows every 10 minutes, so you're sure to see at least one amazing eruption. Gullfoss Waterfall, the third stop along the Golden Circle, is arguably the most well-known waterfall in all of Iceland. Known for its powerful water, stunning layers, and frequent rainbows, this site is perfect for photos and sightseeing. Plus, regardless of when you visit, the falls are never any less impressive. This day is all about water, covering two of Iceland's most photographed waterfalls and a volcanic lake. Kerið is a stunning volcanic crater lake located just a few minutes outside the charming town of Selfoss. Take my advice and explore Selfoss first. The town is really adorable and will definitely leave you with some great photos. When you arrive at the crater, you'll instantly be amazed by its size. Huge would be an understatement. Take your time exploring the lake and, if you've got the energy, hike around the entire perimeter. The views are outstanding the entire way around. Seljalandsfoss is next, and for this waterfall, you will definitely need a raincoat. The fall's claim to fame is hands down the fact that you can walk all around it, including behind it. It offers a unique 360-degree perspective that very few waterfalls in the world can provide, and if you're lucky, you'll spot a rainbow coming perfectly out of the top of the falls. Skogafoss waterfall was one of my favorite stops in all of Iceland, which leads me to believe it might be for you as well. The sheer power of the falls is somehow humbling, and you can feel the force of the water from the moment you arrive. Plus, the soothing hum of the water is enough to relax you for the entire trip. After so many waterfalls, it's nice to know that Day 4 features more water, this time at the beaches of southern Iceland. Dyrhólaey is a small peninsula just outside of Vik that overlooks the Atlantic Ocean and the famous Black Sand Beach. This 120-meter high promenade is charming and unique, showcasing a massive archway in the center that's formed over years of crashing ocean water. Complete with a viewing platform and lighthouse, this site is a calming reminder of Iceland's isolation. Reynisfjara Beach, also known as the Black Sand Beach, is a bizarre beach right beside the Dyrhólaey lighthouse. The first thing you'll notice when you arrive is the sand. It's black. And while that might sound underwhelming, trust me, it's one of the coolest and beautiful things I've ever seen. Filled with endless photo possibilities, this beach boasts towering cliffs, strange basalt columns, lava formations, and blackened caves. And if that's not enough, there are puffins. Be sure not to get too close to the water, though, as a number of fatal accidents have occurred due to the strength and unforgiving nature of this stretch of sea. Vik is one of the most charming seafront villages in all of Iceland, not just the southern coast, so it's definitely worth a visit. This village sits quietly below the Mýrdalsjökull glacier, so if you're up for it, sign up for an afternoon tour of the ice caps. If you're on the tired side, take the time to relax and walk around the village. The town's church was built in 1929, making it a historic site that's beautifully preserved in time, and the locals are extremely friendly, so be sure to get chatty. Pushing onward to the ends of southern Iceland, you'll start to notice the landscape shifts, becoming more and more dramatic. That's probably why Fjaðrárgljúfur and Vatnajökull are so popular. They're some of the most amazing sights, carved by years of intense weather and volcanic activity. Fjaðrárgljúfur is somewhat hard to explain, simply because it's so vast it's difficult to put into words. Essentially, it's an ancient river canyon, dating back over 2 million years. The site has aged like a fine wine, getting better and better with time. Creeping moss covers the edges of the canyon that drops down dramatically into a blue and winding river that flows into the ocean. Waterfalls are dotted throughout the rock walls, making it a magical place to sit down and relax for a while. Be prepared for a bit of a hike. It's by no means a long, maybe 15 minutes, but going up is steep, so take your time and bring good shoes. Vatnajökull National Park is one of Iceland's 3 national parks, covering over 14,000 square kilometers. By far one of the most diverse areas in Iceland, this is one place where you can see glacial ice and volcanic geothermal activity at the same time. While this park is technically creeping into the eastern region of Iceland, it's still on the southern coast, so it must be part of your travels. 2 of my favorite sites in this park included Svartifoss and Jökulsárlón. Svartifoss is by far the most unique waterfall in Iceland, and when you visit, you'll see why. Water tumbles over ancient black basalt columns, making it look like a Viking carved out a space just for the falls. Jökulsárlón is on the other end of the park, about half an hour drive from Svartifoss. Honestly, this is one of the most iconic landmarks in all of Iceland. This glacier lagoon is a beautifully bright blue bay of icebergs and glacial water flowing from the monstrous Breiðamerkurjökull glacier. As one of the natural wonders of Iceland, this site is almost haunting, as the luminous icebergs float quietly and unmoving. If you're lucky, you'll even spot a few seals playing amongst the ice. As you drive along the southern coast of Iceland, you'll notice one amazing natural beauty that's slowly but surely taken over the landscape: moss. Along with a hike to a photogenic plane wreck, this day is filled with underrated Icelandic beauty. Sólheimasandur is one of the most famous sites in all of southern Iceland. In fact, if you're researching or just looking at pictures of Iceland, you've probably already seen this landmark a dozen times. This epic plane wreck sits abandoned on the black sand beaches of the south coast. In 1973, the United States Navy DC plan ran out of fuel, forcing it to crash onto the beach. Fortunately, everyone survived, and it's now the perfect place for photos with a science fiction feel. The Eldhraun lava field is less so a single destination and more so a stretch of land spanning out towards the village of Kirkjubejarklaustur. So the good news is, you can't miss it. This field is the largest lava flow in the world, created during the Laki eruption of the 1700s. The site is over 565 square kilometers, and the eruption itself had devastating effects on the wildlife of Iceland. Today, the craters are covered by woolly fringe moss, making the landscape otherworldly and almost alien. Believe it or not, this is where the Apollo 11 crew came to train for their moonwalk, so it's safe to say it's pretty magical. Just be respectful when visiting this area as the moss is very sensitive. Once walked on, it takes decades to heal, so be careful not to destroy it. Because there's so much to see and do in the capital, you'll appreciate having a second day here for tours. From whale watching to horseback riding, there are hundreds of amazing tours and day trips offered from the capital, so it's just a matter of choosing which one's right for you. Whale watching. Whales are all over Iceland, including the bays right outside of Reykjavik. Humpbacks, minke whales, and even dolphins are regularly seen on these tours. And trust me, there is nothing more amazing than getting up close and personal with these gentle giants. Horseback riding. Icelandic horses are undoubtedly beautiful, so getting up close and personal with one is a memorable experience. A horseback riding tour really lets you connect with nature and the traditional way of old Icelanders. If you're in Iceland, especially during the winter months, you're going to want to try and chase the northern lights. The waters of Faxaflói Bay are perfect for chasing the dancing sky, and tours leave right from the city, making it really convenient for travelers. Ice Cave Expedition. Day trips to Iceland's ice caves are definitely worthwhile for one of your days in the capital. The scenery is very dramatic and showcases the natural wonder of Iceland's strange combination of what happens when fire and ice collide. For the thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies in Iceland, a snowmobiling tour should definitely be on your list. There are tons of snowy destinations perfect for exploring on a snowmobile, such as the Langjökull Glacier or in Snæfellsjökull National Park. Iceland's southern region is a treasure trove of natural wonders and unforgettable experiences. We hope you enjoyed this journey with Happy Voyages. Like and subscribe to stay updated on our future travels. Until next time, may your voyages be happy and your adventures endless.